Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you another video. All right, so I have to tell you that I accidentally cut off the video. I didn't mean to end it that way, but I guess that's one way to end it. He could shoot us out of it. I didn't want to end the video that way. But what I was saying was LeBron James can shoot us out of the basketball game if for some reason he gets caught up in the whole let's do the scoring thing as opposed to let's just play to the see the game come to me and hopefully just win the basketball game. So my thing is, if he comes out and he gets off to a real hot start, we know what we have to guard against. And that's the rotations that ultimately give up the lead that he builds when he scores really, really fast, really, really soon. We've seen it too many times, where LeBron James will simply put himself in a position to score the ball, get like 15 straight points. We get out to a 15-3 start, and then we end up losing the game by 10 anyway because everything after that didn't, nobody helped him. He didn't stay hot, and we didn't do a good enough job of getting other people involved. So we just got to, not get lulled into that tonight against an OKC Thunder team who you think you could probably not focus on, and then will proceed to beat you because of it. This is one of those. While you're sitting back thinking about Kareem and all of that and trying to pass him up, they got just enough youngsters that are just talented enough to make you pay for not taking them seriously. That's exactly who the Thunder are. They're a team that can do that to you. I know there's some other pieces. Lou Dort is not expected to be available tonight. Pokusevski had a broken bone of some sort, so he's out. And, of course, we know Chet Holmgren is out for the season. Also, on the Lakers side of things, LeBron James is considered questionable, as he always is with the ankle. I don't think he misses tonight's game given the circumstances. Anthony Davis is probable. We think we'll see him tonight. And Austin Reeves is probable. Finally, for the first time in 100 years, we will see Austin Reeves put on the uniform tonight. Hopefully not for the last time. So we'll see. I doubt it. I think the Lakers are pretty steadfast on not trading those guys for anything less than something ridiculous. And I don't think we have anything ridiculous, honestly, to give those teams, to take back from those in regards to that player. So one thing that I know the Lakers are going to try to do tonight is just try to get guys work back into the equation. The most important thing the Lakers need to do right now is find themselves without rotation circumstances like we've had. Small ball leading to rebounds that are going to the other team, easy layups, mismatches that help ultimately leave us at a disadvantage every night. If the Lakers can just find a way to get away from the minutes mentality and that small ball mantra that tends to do what it does, we can find ourselves in positions to see success just like we have been doing when we get away from it. Every time we go to Troy Brown, Thomas Bryant, Wenyen Gabriel, and all those guys, we get the stuff that we hope to receive from those guys that we ultimately center everything around. So as we continue to be frustrated with the continued choice of small ball and what comes with it, we're just hopeful that this will be the new day that they decide not to do it. This will be the day that they finally decide that this isn't it. Now, one thing I'm looking at in this game today, even though we got so many other things to pay attention to, is Rui Hachimura. He's only played one home game with the Lakers, and that was the San Antonio Spurs game when he was traded here. That very game, the day before that, he was traded here, and so we were just able to kind of get him in a home game, play that game. He played pretty well for the most part, and then, boom, off to a 5-game road trip. And he hasn't been in L.A. So this is a situation where he damn near may have never even played in L.A. when you consider the first game didn't get all the minutes like that. This is a big situation for him to finally get settled in personally, whatever. He can get his apartment, all that stuff, whatever he's going to do. Have a practice in L.A. for probably the first time. And then start to really get his role going. So all that they've been trying to do, incorporating him into the game, into our situation, they've done on the road. And I don't know how much practice time they've had in New York and New Orleans and all these places. They probably didn't get a chance to really implement him into a space where you can say, okay, this is what we want you to do. This is how you're going to do it. Now practice these things and let's get better. Until he's in that space where those things have been practiced a little bit, then when you put him in with all that in his head and all that already worked into the circumstance, we can evaluate him properly. But until all that's happening, evaluating him based on this road trip is just misguided. Messing with his minutes and all that, misguided. He should have never even been evaluated for any reason at all until he was put into the system as a piece. And so I don't know that Darvin has done that yet. Looking at how he's been played, he is not. So that's important to me, man. I just don't want us misevaluating Rui Hachimura, doing weird stuff with him, messing with his confidence like we've been doing to some of the other players. just because we're misguided in how we're acting. No, if we're doing things properly, there won't be a problem. Speaking of problems, can we not play Wenyen Gabriel? I know I sound like a guy who probably overrates Wenyen at this point, but it's only because I know how much he helps us versus how much we're using him, which is not very much at all. And you look at the results of that, we lose. You know, what's the common denominator with all these losses? Wenyen not getting minutes, Thomas not getting minutes. We're just not big enough, and we know it. And I don't think that Thomas or Wenyen have done anything to make it so that you would want to mess with their confidence in their minutes. Now, Wenyen did have the inbounds play that ultimately turned the momentum, and we never got it back in that last game. Inbounding the ball to Alvarado. It's Alvarado, man. If he's anywhere around, you got to make sure you're talking to the people you're inbounding the ball. Any lazy inbound of any kind in the NBA might as well be a turnover. Might as well. Most of the inbounds I've seen that have been lazy get intercepted. You want to be on point, especially if defense is anywhere around you. So, yeah, there's no excuse for that. But what I can say is the rope is too small. And I would love to see Wenyen Gabriel get some minutes, but I'm pretty sure because he did that, you ain't going to see him tonight either. That's how it works. Same thing with Max Christie. When he turned the ball over in that one game against Cleveland, we didn't see him for like 3 games. Our coach overreacts to our young players' mistakes and some of our forwards' mistakes. But a guy like Patrick Beverley, Russell Westbrook, they turn the ball over 7 times a game or whatever, miss 8 shots, no problem. So we just want that to not be the case. And I think it'll, if we shift out of that, we'll start winning. LeBron James been playing some great ball. I saw his ESPN interview yesterday. He was talking about all the different things that were leading up to the breaking the record. That's what they really set him down for. It wasn't to talk about Kyrie Irving. They had a whole situation where they were playing music and had the whole smile and dance go on with the ESPN, and they're asking them all these beautiful questions, and then the silence starts. They take the music out. So what did you think of not getting Kyrie Irving? I'm like, you guys are so dramatic and so overly petty and just toxic. I can't stand the toxicity that this media environment is about. It's like, let's make it so very uncomfortable for the players, and then let's mold it to make them look like they hate each other so we can exalt ourselves. It's like, I'm over it. I don't like the culture anymore. It's old, it's tired, and it makes for a lesser talent. Because what I see, and I've been saying this off and on, but I'm going to verbalize it right here. What I see is Russell Westbrook having not reacted well to that pressure and it affecting what we saw on the basketball floor. That's what I saw all last season. Every time they run his blooper reel, he would come back in the Staples Center and play worse and worse and worse and worse. And when I start seeing that, then I start hating the culture for which creates that environment, because it costs me victories and it's making it so that the players in our uniform are not playing well. So that's what it really comes down to. I equate that pressure that they apply in all these narratives to guys going out there and having, jitterbugs when they go out there to play. Nah, get the middlemen out of the way, and our guys can be less stressful and more clutch, in my humble opinion. It affects the game in a negative way. So that's what I think, man. I'm at a space where I'm eager to see my team succeed, obviously, in the little matchups like this where we just need to win a game, but also in the bigger picture stuff in regards to making good decisions. So as the trade deadline approaches, I'm hopeful that they will do something else that'll take our team's small players, put them in positions to be in better rotations elsewhere. That is my hope. We don't have bad guys. We just have a coach that uses them in bad ways, and it costs us. It costs us every time. I'm looking at the stats of this game, and I'm telling you, over the last 5 games, according to what it is I read, the Oklahoma City Thunder have scored more points than us and have allowed less points than us. They steal the ball more than us. They block the ball more than us. They have just been a better overall team than us over the last 5 games. Now, that can be skewed by a little bit by the fact they only played a couple of different teams. All of that is based on the matchups as well. But at the end of the day, pairing the 5 games against 5 games, they've been better. So while we think we're coming into our house and we're going to celebrate ourselves and we're going to exalt LeBron James and pass the torch from Kareem to LeBron, I'm telling you, OKC is looking to spoil that. They asked Josh Giddey what he thought of LeBron James passing the record while he's on the floor. He said, no, we got defenders for that. We got defenders that'll take care of that. That's what he said in regards to LeBron James being the all-time scoring champion record guy against him. Josh Giddey threw a stone at LeBron and said, nah, we got guys. And my thing is, if you ain't going to be one of them guys, you don't want to say that. You don't want to say that. Josh, you just gave us bulletin board material. But nevertheless, he's one of those players that can back it up. He's the dude that can say that and then go out there and go 15, 15, and 15. He's good enough to do it. You know who else is good enough to do that? Russell Westbrook, who may be playing his last game against the Lakers, who is definitely playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder at home. And if you've been following the Los Angeles Lakers, you understand that these games that he's had against the Thunder when he comes in the Staples Center have not been good. Last year, we played the Thunder twice. Of course, at home, we lost those games. He played bad. Went into Thunder's arena in them 2 games. I don't think we won either one of those. He played bad. He just doesn't play well against that team. We know that's his home team. That's his real Laker home team. And he probably needs to be there. That's probably where he needs to be playing. But as of right now, he's going to be likely playing his last Laker game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's really set up that way by the schedule matrix, I'm pretty certain, for the Lakers to be playing the Thunder right before the trade deadline with Russell expiring. That's not happenstance. But anyway, nevertheless, that's what's going on. And, it's going to be interesting to see if this team could be a team tonight with all the different things and all different players that probably think they ain't going to be on the team tomorrow. How many guys are we thinking about the team, the overall team concept of us winning, and how many people actually even believe they're going to be a part of this thing come tomorrow? Half the team probably don't think they're going to be a part of this. So with all this going on, it's going to be very hard for us to be a unit, deal with the emotional nonsense, and then have those kids who don't care nothing about nothing because they're just kids, and they're going to come out here and just run free. If you're playing against an older team with Dame on the floor, some of these older vets, then it would be more of a thing. But you're running up against the youngsters. They don't care nothing about LeBron James passing no record. They ain't thinking about Kareem. They don't even know who he is. They're just going out there to dunk the ball. And I'm telling you, if we do not look to defend them properly, we're going to get beat. We're going to get beat by a team that's actually better than us right now. And look, we had Anthony Davis and LeBron James on the floor in the last game. Still lost against a New Orleans team that didn't have Zion Williamson. I am not impressed with the idea that we're just going to beat teams just because AD and Bron's on the floor. If we don't do things properly, they're going to lose with us. They're going to lose with us. This is not a situation where they're going to affect winning in such a way where we can make all the mistakes in the world and just not walk away a loser. You're still going to walk away a loser. It's exactly how bad this team is constructed right now. And it's exactly how bad Darvin Ham is using this team right now. So that's what it is, man. I'm not a happy Laker fan. I am looking forward to a nice night where LeBron James could potentially pass this record, make it so that ticket prices go back to normal again. I'm looking forward to all that. I'm looking forward to him getting past this record. I'm sure he is too. It's just it's something that doesn't feel that great, really, when you consider him passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in this uniform. It's like you would rather just not be like that, but it is like that. And Kareem said he's on board. He's not only going to be here tonight, but he'll be here in the next game as well if he doesn't break it tonight. And he's ready to sing his praises. He's ready to give him his flowers for this incredible accomplishment. And I am too. At the end of the day, this is a guy who's done all I wanted to see him do leading up into this moment. I've had my ups and downs. You guys have seen them all. But at the end of the day, I'm very happy LeBron James is here. I'm very happy that he's in a position to not be traded this trade deadline. The fact that we don't have to worry about that is a real peace of mind for myself as a fan. And I appreciate him for doing that for us. And hopefully this team can do what it's supposed to do. If I was in charge, I would have signed off on the best possible deal for those picks. Doesn't mean that deal has come around as of yet, but the fact that I would be willing should be what it is that I think LeBron would want from me if I were running things. So that's what it's about. I can't promise you we should make a bad deal, that I would make a bad deal just to make him happy. I can promise you I wouldn't. But what I can tell you is, if there's a good deal to make, I would not hesitate over the next 48 hours to bring him something that would make it right. Because we have to get from this point to whatever point we're trying to get to. And like I told you guys, if we're holding picks and we don't have Bron, we don't have AD, we don't have nothing, and it's just the damn picks we're holding on to, then there's no guarantee that those picks are even going to be put together for a team that's worth having. You got some young players, but you ain't got nothing close to bring you to a championship like this core can. And that's what's changed my mind about things. It's just looking at how difficult it is to bring a championship level team to you, even when you're building correctly. And when you have one in place, should it not put you in a position to value it more so than whatever possibility that could be built that probably won't be up to this standard, even though you'd be satisfied with it because of the stability of having a team that has a future and that isn't teetering, as I like to say, on a tightrope. So I'm telling you, as a Laker fan, I just look at this situation and have come to terms that investing in LeBron James in place is probably the best chance to secure a championship opportunity. Not necessarily not mortgaging the future, building something else and hoping it gets to this level, which is what I've been wanting to do because I love stability and I hate not knowing what's going to happen. But what I do know is when you have stability, you may not be able to lean into championship level, as to which this team can lean into championship levels even without enough talent if everybody stays healthy. So it's like, when you look at it that way, it's like, well, damn, probably should invest in this team because there's no guarantee that any of these next 4 or 5 years is going to ever be at a level that can lean in to a championship possibility. You just may not be good enough. So that's what it comes down to, man. Know that, have that in mind when making negotiations and being asked to overprice or overpay, because I think that is a big part of the equation that all Laker fans and personnel need to have in mind. Whatever stable thing that you want to build, that I want to build, may not even be good enough to have passed up on this particular opportunity when it's all said and done. So that's what I'm starting to understand. So I hope the Lakers do something, man. I don't want to do nothing bad. I think evaluating talent is a big deal. When you have a conversation like this, it changes within the opinions of certain minds based on what it is they think is worth what. A person may hear me say that and be like, for sure, now let's trade all of our picks for Chris Paul. I'm like, nah, that ain't what I'm telling you to do. But it's about how you evaluate talent. You see what I'm saying? So it's about, you can have that wisdom, but if you're evaluating talent wrong, you're still going to mess it up. You got to know who can play and who can't, and to what extent. Because if we don't have that in mind, it can go left. It can go so very left, man. You got to have that in mind. So, yeah, that's where I'm at, man. Hopefully the trade deadline brings us something good. Obviously, this game is an afterthought in that regard. And, of course, LeBron James setting Kareem's record is something we're really, really thinking about. I had a much better spiel about how important that was to us at a random game video. I don't know. I gave you the greatest LeBron spiel I could come up with, and I just don't have it in me like that right now. But I want everybody to go back and look at some of them old videos that I've made, man, because I've talked about LeBron James in a positive light, and I've talked about him when I was frustrated with everything that was going on. But right now, there's no frustration. The only frustration I have is with the front office and them not doing what they need to do to make him as a champion, you know, if that's what we're looking at. So that's my problem. My problem is the rotations that are going on around. And I'll tell you something else. And this ain't going to be popular. And I'm sorry for putting this in the air, but it's just something I was thinking about. And you know I'm not a liar. I'm an honest person. There's one scenario I'm looking at in regards to the small ball. I'm sure it's crossed his mind. It didn't really cross mine, but it did this morning while I was, thinking about some things. LeBron James has enemies in this world. People that do not like him. People that are jealous of him, jealous of what it is he's been able to accomplish, jealous of the fact that he was able to find himself in Miami, go back to Cleveland, get a championship, go to LA afterwards. It's just been a path that he's been able to control that has left some other people feeling like, they didn't get their just due, or maybe whatever. We know the NBA has done a great deal to try to strategize itself solely to beat him and stop him from winning championships. Boston Celtics were built to beat him. Golden State Warriors were built to beat him. If I'm not mistaken, 7 Seconds or Less was probably built to beat him too. I don't remember. That might be an off timeline though. Probably an off timeline in my head. But the point is, they've built teams to beat this dude. Like the only reason why that team is even assembled is because no one in the field could stop King James. I don't know that the field still isn't scheming against him when I see his own team running small ball. Intended result. And if you follow me, you know that's something I've been saying 100 times over, because at the end of the day, when you do things that lead you to failure and you have people who are bringing you analytics that show you what that looks like on paper and you still choose that, it's the intended result. But where my mind goes is, why would I intend to lose? Well, one scenario in my head is because F LeBron James and somebody hates him and I'm in coots with them. That's what I think. I think that there's a very legitimate scenario that LeBron James is being schemed against by people that he thinks is on his side. That makes sense, unfortunately. That makes sense. It adds up. Because people are losing on purpose, and he's the one that gets the blame. He's the one that looks like he cannot win, or that he needs more to win. And what I'm telling you is, the things that his team is choosing to do while he's on the floor leaves him at a disadvantage so that he cannot win. And the scenario that came to my mind at first was like, well, maybe we're trying to lose so that we can prove that we cannot win without Anthony Davis to mess with his value or something. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, nah, this is about LeBron James. We're trying to prove we can't win with LeBron James. And that is a horrible, nasty, evil thought. But it doesn't not add up. I hate it either way. If a guy's on my team and he has an entire system surrounding him that doesn't really want to see them succeed, even though they really want him to succeed, do not use my team for that. I'm going to tell you right now, it's bigger than you. Enemies of King James, it's bigger than you. There are fans like me who are out here looking to win, and we're going to pick apart every bit of reasons why you ain't. We're going to come up and fathom every little reason why it's possible, and we will talk about it. Because at the end of the day, we want to win, and it's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. Kobe gave us 20 years. He's no longer here no more. You can't make me waver from what it is that he taught me. We need to be winning. That's it. All that other stuff y'all talking about, all this money game stuff, you better make that make sense in regards to us getting Larry O'Brien championships. Or I'm going to overlook what y'all got going on and pay attention to the field before us and pay attention to the field that's coming after us and weigh what it is that I'm intending against them. Not y'all and what it is that y'all got going on right now. So that's what I'm here to tell you guys. I'm telling you, we as fans of the Lakers, whatever little agenda is being used to coerce us into paying for a losing product will be unearthed. That is it. That is all there is to be said. I don't care what you got to say after that in regards to if the referees ain't calling calls, all that, none of that. I don't care, man. Whatever is leading up to the manipulation we're seeing needs to end so that we can win. And if y'all ain't scheming a way to get us a championship, you ain't going to shut me up. Y'all better fix it so that we're winning so that I don't keep sniffing around, because that's exactly what I'm going to do until we do. So rig it for us. If you got any sense, you rig it for us. BDF 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.